Hello everybody, it's Suffolkblue, all the way from merry old England. How the devil are you? I hope you are well. Welcome back to the Attack of the B-Team Let's Play series that we've been getting on, and it's just about to go night time. Worst timing ever to start a Let's Play series. Let's shut the door. I don't know how much food we've got on us. We have to go get some food. Up. Some sleep. Oh. Set. Sleep. Right, what are we going to do today? Well, last episode, if you remember, we built the outside of our warehouse. Now, we want to finish that off, really, so that we have another part of our three-part automatic sorting and storage system done, so that I can start using it properly. If you remember, we've already built the shiny one underneath the house. We're now about to put in the gubbins or the workings for this one, and I have prettied this area up a little bit. Let's have a little look. A few trees, a few lamps outside, which I thought looked very nice, very Georgian actually. This is Georgian. I said Art Deco originally. This is Georgian, but it's very nice. And some trees along the edges there, which no doubt will breed me an awful lot of mobs. Now, this is our insides, and we're going to make an awful lot of chests and do some runners, and we're going to do the process exactly the same as before. But this time I want to talk you through the step of making one properly. So what I'll probably do is that actually outside. I might even do that in the creative world, and then show you how I do all of that, and then bring you back in, and I'll have already have done all of this in here already, alright? Because I don't think you want to see me do all of these individually. But if I do one of these out in our creative mode, and then you'll see how they're made. Let me just also go and quickly do what I need to do with the item router, because obviously we're using item routers to sort things out, and we're going to be using specifically, let me turn into a bat, just in case I fall on that conveyor belt and can't get up. This one here, okay, this item router here. Now, everything which is going yellow is going to go towards our dirt house. Now we've already put some in here, I see, okay. What we've got here, and we're putting these in with left click. Very important that it's left click. Oh, we've already got one of those in. Don't need that twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think that's all of the various building materials which we can expect to come upon. I can't think of any more. Off the top of my head that we would dig out of the ground in terms of building materials. So what we've done by having all of these in here is say any of these must go out the yellow track, which is this one, and head off towards no, let's not get caught here, and go off towards the dirt house. Alright, so we've set that in there. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll head off now to the creative world and show you how I'm going to make these, and then when we bring you back, I'll be in, tell you what, let's stand in exactly the same space, and then when I bring you back, as if by magic, all of the gubbins in here will be done. So I shall see you on the creative server in a moment. And welcome back. So we're now in the creative world, where we're going to have a look at how I'm going to make our item storage for our warehouse. So this is, I'm going to show you the things you're going to need to make, and then I'm going to show you how I've made this and why I've made it the shape I have made it. So it's not all... there's a bit of science behind this, alright? Incidentally, if you hear some thunder in the background, in the UK at the moment we are having a bit of storm, quite a lot of storm actually, so hopefully it won't be too bad, but it's already thundering and lightning out there. Right, moving on. So, what are we going to need? Well, the first thing we're definitely going to need, the most complicated part of the whole of the storage mod, is the item router. And so I thought I would just take you over a little bit of how to make that. The first thing you're going to need is some electrum gears. So you are going to need electrum. So in order to be able to do this, you are going to need the pulverizer, the redstone furnace, etc. in order to make electrum. So you must be at that level. Excuse me. You must be at that level to be able to start making this at all. Alright, but in order to make electrum gear, you need 4 electrum ingots as so, with an iron ingot in the middle. Okay, so that's your gear. You'll also need as well some redstone conductance coil, again made with electrum, and 2 pieces of redstone set out like that. Awesome. You're also going to need some multimeters, okay, which are copper on the top, lead, your redstone conductance, and your electrum gear. And we can take that out. We get 3 of those, alright, because we're going to need 3. Oh, made that move around. There we go. You're going to need some plastic sheets, which I didn't tell you how to make in the tutorial. If you haven't seen my tutorial on automatic cargo pick up and drop off, then I laughed because I didn't show you how to make plastic sheets. Raw plastic in a cube. There we go, and you'll get plastic sheets. Alright. And you're going to need a machine frame, and you have a gold ingot in the middle, your iron ingots, and your glass, and that will get you your machine frame. And then you can put all that together to make your item router. So is our 3 of those, our 4 plastics, 1 of those, and a chest on the top, and you will get 8, count them, 8 item routers. Okay, really useful. We're also going to need to make some conveyor belts. And conveyor belts are made with 3 rubber on the top, 2 redstone, and some iron. That's about as complicated as it's going to get, to be fair. And if you've missed any of those recipes, obviously you can pause, go backwards and have a look at them. Now let's have a look at the actual storage. So I've made a sort of pretend... I do this a lot. I've made a pretend fascia of what our building will look like. Alright, so it's 2 high, and this is our run. If you're wondering what these are... Oops, did I do that? I did do that, didn't I? I need to fix that now. Hold on. These are just... let's put that back. Didn't get any. These are the carpenter stairs. Again... Just get the carpenter stairs, and all you're going to do is take one of our factory blocks and you're going to do that with them in order to make a look. Alright, so this is it. This is our storage. It's not all double chests, which people will think, why not? Well, we've got to remember this building that we've built is 1 block wide, has a great deal of windows, an awful lot of micro-blocking that I've done on the outside already, and if I was to have 2 chests going all the way down here, I would need to do some pipe work. And I would need 2 pipes, as we found out before. I would need 1 from one side and 1 from the other side. And I can't really hide those. I can hide them in normal stone, of course. But I'm going to need to also hide them at some point behind glass. That's going to be a problem. And to be honest, I didn't want just double chests. I wanted to make it look a bit different. And that's another thing about designs, is they don't have to always be the most efficient. Sometimes they just have to look... They look the part as well. Alright, so what have we got here? We've got an item router at the top. So if you can imagine, all of the dirt and soil and cobblestone and everything else will be trundling around the edge of the building, going into each of these item routers again. These will then decide, okay, this is now a cobblestone one. Alright, and we do that by putting that in there, left clicking that in there in the black line, which is the bottom part. That will mean that any cobblestone will drop into this hopper, which will drop into this chest. And unlike with pipes, I don't need 2 hoppers. 1 hopper will empty this chest, the whole of the double chest, into this chest, which will then empty into this chest, which will empty into this chest, into this chest, into this chest, all the way down. So I will only ever need to collect my items from this chest. And as I take items out, as I want to use them, any items which are stored above it, either in the hoppers or in the chest, will automatically drop down and fill it up. So I only ever have to go to that chest to be able to get cobblestone. But all of this could be full of cobblestone, of course, but I only need to go to this chest. And how much storage do we get? Well, we get 5 per hopper, so remember that. Just don't discount that as storage, because it is. So you get 5 per hopper. We've got 1 double chest, another hopper, another normal chest. So if we add all these up, a lot of storage. Not quite as much as if they were double chests all the way down, but not far off. And we have managed to not destroy the walls, and we have managed to keep them all in line. So in order to build this, I can build another one over here. Try and leave a space between the 2. Remember, you can't have a double chest next door to each other. So I'm going to put one in here. Start with your hopper, pop that in place. Pop your item router on top. Alright, and all item routers, depending on which way you're facing in the world, they won't be able to be moved around, I don't think. So if I do this, you'll see that they always have either a blue face, a yellow face, a green face, a red face, and on the bottom is the black face. So you always know the bottom is black, and that means that everything you want to drop out the bottom, you just have to put in black. Everything else you can pretty much sort of ignore unless you want it to come out the side. So item routers are in place, and when you're putting items in, you must remember to left click them. So if you want to make this a copper one, we take it and we left click. Normally you would, a lot of things you do right clicking. That won't work with these. Got to left click them. And then we just have to build in. And the easiest way I found out to do this was to do my chests first. Double along the top, and then just stagger them down. And again, but what I've done there, if you look, I've made them look the same. So the top one's along the top, and the next one's below. If I wanted again to make it look pretty, and it sounds odd to do it all this way, but just to make it look different, to make it better on the eye, I can alternate them. And that just starts to make a slightly different looking effect, makes this middle bit a bit more interesting, and changes the look and feel of it. So it's those sorts of little details, if you do, can make a big difference to your builds. Pop the hoppers in, and the next thing is to get you a crescent hammer, or wrench as I still call it, or spanner, and make sure that it's going down in a zigzag fashion. Alright, so down from the top into the double chest. From the double chest it goes into the first chest, it comes to this side one. That drops from there into this 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 one. And finally the bottom one has to drop into the last chest. Alright, and you can follow this down in the journey from there down, 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 in there, all the way. And if we pop in the hopper at the top here, oops, not using a crescent hammer because that would be silly, but if we pop in here, have I got some cobble? I have, so let's just pop some cobble in here. You can see that's dropping from there, but automatically dropping all the way to the bottom. So as I fill from the top and I take stuff out of here, it would automatically refill from above. So that's how I'm going to make my storage. That gives me enough room to put some torches and stuff in the middle just to lighten things up a little bit. But it really is that simple, and providing the next thing really to do, the last thing to do, is to make sure that you get all your conveyor belts in place. So let's just put them on there, pretend. And then with our crescent hammer, make sure you orientate them round so that they are all travelling in the right direction around the grid, because any of these you get wrong will just screw up your circuit, and straight away your items will go on a merry dance. Now these are glitchy, okay? Conveyor belts are not the best thing to use. I really cannot wait to get into GalactiCraft mode and use pipes exclusively to do all of my item moving, rather than conveyor belts. But I'm just trying to stick with that whole theme of having you know, sort of an industrial period, if you like, before we get to GalactiCraft. One of the tips I want to show you about these is about making them rise, and in another video, in my previous video, 14 I think it was, we made the elevator, and I just want to show you something which I found out and I didn't realise before. Let's say that we want to make a conveyor belt. Actually, let's do it this way. This is a bit ad hoc, so I'm doing this on the fly, but why not? Normally I'd have all this built up. Just digging it out, pretending that we're going to be coming, just so you can see it really. Okay. Right. So with our conveyor belts, we're coming along here. So this, just pretend we're back where our elevators were. Alright. Now, let's get these all in working, also all in the right line, doing the right thing. Excellent. 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 Come on. Brilliant. Now, a little tip, especially on corners. Actually, I haven't gone quite right there. Let's go up one. Let's. How am I going to do this? Let's take up this one. Actually, let's put that back. I'm just trying to think the best way to show you, because one of the things you've got to remember is when your items go around corners, they don't go flat around a corner sometimes. And if I spit one item out, you see they sort of do this sort of little jig around. Alright. Now if they've got to go around a corner and they're going up, it is perfectly possible for them to glitch onto the wall. And that means they'll get stuck. They'll literally just sit in a single place. And one of the things that I sort of learned is to take out that block. So where the corner is, take out that block, because that way, no matter how often stuff comes through here, if it tries to cut the corner, okay, if it tries to go round and cut the corner, it's not going to hit that block, which means it should be able to travel straight through, and even if it does cut across there like that sometimes, it won't hit that block and stop. So one of my little building tips is just to leave a gap when you turn a corner with a conveyor belt. Otherwise you'll find yourself, and that's probably more important actually when you get to these sorts of points. So when you're if you can imagine you're going like that, okay, so this is even more important because these blocks are coming up here. Oh, just dropped my hammer away. Did you see how that just got stuck on that block ever so slightly? And if you get a lag spike at exactly the same moment as one of those items touches one of those, it can stop. Let's just line that across there and see if we can make this do it. Just so it will prove me a liar. Yeah, see. But again, if you've got blocks like that, just take that one out, and that means that as that goes around the corner, if anything should get stuck, and as you see, look, the way it just crossed over that part there, look at it again. See? Some of them go round, but some of them don't. Some of them will go over the middle. Oops, see that? Boom, boom, boom. And that little hop, skip and a jump over the middle really will catch you out if you're not careful. And you see actually these have glitched a little bit in there. So conveyor belts, glitchy, annoying, hot little, just, oh, use them sparingly. I've used them so much in my Attack the B team. Oh, what a nightmare. Use them sparingly, I think. Just use your pipes, unless you're doing what I'm trying to do, which is to sort of go through the ages, if you like. The last thing I've done, just on there, is we stick on obviously a sign to say what this is going to be. In this case, this one could be dirt, for example, just so that I can remember when I get around to doing it what each of these is. Another thing to remember is you can put a safety rail, and you need to block off these extra gaps, because any items that are not cobble or not dirt or whatever you've told this to be have a 50% chance of being spat out there or out there, because that's still an active face. So what we need to do, I need to make these really, which I can't, but using your micro blocks, alright, you need to create panels. So let's make a factory block panel, something like that. And we need to make a factory block post or pillar. Oops. Factory blocks post, I think. We'll see how big that is. That'll do. So with these, in the same way as I did in the shiny safe storage area, firstly what you'll need to do is put on, oops, if you don't do it right, that happens. So we block off the extra one, which now means that 100% of every item which is not an item associated with this router will now spit out this way. But we also want to make sure that nothing falls off our conveyor belts, because that would be frustrating. So just micro block. Oops, I'm not doing that very well. Come on. Just micro block along the edge, just to make sure that everything stays put on the conveyor belt. If you're also at one level high, that also means you can't fly onto the conveyor belt, which is what we worked out in our previous episode when we made our secure storage under the house. So that is how I'm going to do the storage. Plenty of storage, and I'm going to have 2 of these, so some of these will have 3 of these for cobble. I will have cobble for days, all automatically stored up, all automatically working, and me not having to do anything at all, unless it gets stuck in the pipes. So that, I hope, has been a good tutorial. I know this is a tutorial within an episode, but I didn't really want to make a separate tutorial on this one. I wanted just to make it so that I could show you the final results within the Attack of the B team itself. So let's go back over to the real world and show you the final result inside our constructing warehouse, our dirt warehouse, which is holding all our material. So I shall be right back. And as if by magic, welcome back everybody. Attack of the B team in the real world, away from the creative. Here it is. Here is the result of all our hard work. We have put in our chests for days. There are 13, I think, in here in total. There's 5 along there, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we've got unlucky for some, but we've got 13 chests along here, all of which are going to be containing, that'd be a good screenshot actually for the whole, let's do that, shall we? Good screenshot for the thumbnail. So there we go, there's all our conveyor belts in place. Each of these have got their special items. Sand and sandstone. I forgot to put sandstone in at the beginning. There you can see where it comes out of the elevator. I have cut in that notch in the elevator that I described in the creative world, but here it is. These are all here. Everything is labelled up. Stuff's not in here yet. We need to do that. But let's go and test it again. Open this up. Let's go down the mine and send up some stuff and go and see whether this works. This is a good test to see whether all of this works. So this is part 2. This is the second part of our automatic storage. The third part is something I've not quite made up my mind what I want to do yet, and that will be for the ores. Now, I've got a feeling I'm going to pulverize them and use a redstone energy source. If I do that though, rather than smelt them in a tinker smelter, if I do it that way, we can use a lot of redstone energy. So we might have to relook at how we power ourselves. And I've got an idea about that. Still using steam. You can see I have been busy working out some of this stuff. I've already filled up this minecart with a load of our stuff, building material this time. I am a bat. Let's get off the ground, ready to fly up and try and chase up. It's going. Let's speed it up. Hopefully without lag. Yeah, we're ahead of it. Alley-oop. Again, watch the dropper. Here it comes. Empties everything out. Boom. We are seeing some success. There it goes. So it's spitting stuff out of here now, one by one. Some of these have still got stuff in them, I would have thought. Maybe not. These early ones may not have. Unless it's emptied everything already into the pipes, maybe waiting to come into here, and this is filling up, backfilling as it's going. You see, that's got quite a lot of stuff to go through it. Should we follow it through? We should better follow it through and take off the other end. How exciting! Let's do that. Boop. We can also see if it gets stuck anywhere. So here we are. These are our cubes of sand at the moment coming out of our router. Lag will do that, and you can see there's a lag spike there. Whoop, there we go. That's caught up with itself. Dark in here, no mobs will spawn. It's one level high. Should be fine apart from baby zombies. Should still be fine. There's a cave down there somewhere. Up we go. This is our little notch. Got to be careful of that. This one's fine. This one should be fine. See a little hop, skip and a jump over the corner edges there. And there. And we have arrived at our destination. And there it is. All our sand is now travelling around the edge of the building, finding a decent place to prop itself, which actually for us is all the way back here. And that's now going in there, which is coming through all of these hoppers. And sand and sandstone. Please work. Please work. Yes! Sand for days. Excellent. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we're using our automatic storage for our dirt. It looks so industrial. It's so brilliant. I love that look. Fabulous. Let's shut these doors up and let that get on with its business. What are we going to be doing next? Well, the last part, as I said, is in here. So it's the ores. And I'm sort of thinking to myself, how you going to do this? How you going to do this? Now, what I've thought about is I'm going to create, I think, 3 pulverizers in here, probably coming off to the side here, pulverize, so they'll pulverize all of our ore. That will go into dust. That way, when I use redstone energy, I will still get 2 dusts, which means I still get 2 ingots, which means I get the efficiency of a tinker smelter without having to stand here and clicking, which is what I have to do at the moment to make all our blocks. But this is going to use redstone energy for days and days. So our little steam engine over here still be able to cope. We've got 2 million RF in here, remember. I've been using this as well, so I don't know how much we've actually got in here. Let's have a look. Loads! Still haven't used up hardly any of that. That's fantastic. So we're going to have to do some more of that. We're going to have to probably update the batteries maybe so that they're the redstone ones rather than the leadstone ones. They'll hold more energy that way. But we also need to come up with a way of being able to power it better than using coal. And that means using charcoal, in my opinion. And that's where this little area here is going to come in. Because I think I'm going to have to make an automatic lumber yard that automatically turns it into charcoal, some of which it keeps as wooden planks. And I'm going to have to use, I think it's called a lumber mill. Lumber? That's a lumber axe, which is not what I want. What's it called? Sawmill? Yeah, sawmill. So we're going to make our own sawmill over here. Oops, I don't need that. Close. So we'll make a sawmill over here. We'll have some trees, which we'll have to have an auto plant to put in. Starting to move the industry along a bit now, yeah. And then we'll have to work out a way of having some of the logs going to become planks, some of the logs going to become charcoal. But we also have to do our agriculture, food. I'm already getting hungry. Let's go and grab some more food. I've got some raspberry bushes over there, which is ironic because in real life I absolutely detest raspberries. Fun fact, Suffolkblue hates raspberries. I did have in here, I made a can of food. Don't ask how I made it, I can't remember. But I accidentally made a can of food. Woo, and you get to keep the can. That is something pretty special. So can I make raspberry puree? As much as disgusting as that sounds, can I make raspberry puree? So if I take 2 raspberries and I put that there and I go bump bump, no. Well, that's disappointing. But if I got 2 apples, I have bump bump. If you get 2 apples, this is how I made it. So now I can show you. To make a tin, you just need tin. Pick it up. So if I put that in the corner and I go bump bump, look, can of food, apples. Good for saturation. There we go. So yeah, so in order to make agriculture, to make food, because we are big food, I've moved a whole mountain. I haven't told you this. I spent an age just digging out this mountain that was here, if you remember, which is leading towards this pasture. It's getting night time. Still have to take this mountain out, or this little, not a mountain, lump. I'm going to leave obviously that one alone. I'm going to put some gardens in here as well to brighten that up a little bit, but I thought this would be a really good area to look at building all our cornfields, because we're starting to go into our pasture area, pasture biome over there. We're by the water. Over here we can look at making some other farms, like the sugarcane and the reed farms, or not, reed farms and something else. So that might be a good idea. Let's get ourselves to bed. So got all that to do. I think next episode we'll do the let's go up here. Next episode we will do the last part of our storage, so we'll do our ores and get that done. And then we won't have any more silly storage to do. We will just have agriculture and start working on the lumber mill, sawmill. Alright? I'd love to know which ones you want me to do first, whether you want me to do the lumber mill first or the agriculture. We have got fruit for days, so we should be fine with food, so I don't need to do agriculture immediately next, but if you do want me to start doing some agriculture, and I'm going to do some old-fashioned agriculture, not just the new planted, self-planters, self-harvesters, la 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 la. I want to do some old piston-driven farming, which I used to love. When I played Minecraft sort of many moons ago, making piston farms and all that sort of stuff was great, and I loved it. So definitely something I want to go back and do. Definitely something I'm going to go back and do, actually. Just taking off all these raspberries. Ugh, disgusting. Fruit of the devil, they really are. So if you want me to do the lumber mill, let me know. If you want me to do the agriculture, let me know. But I think this is it for this episode. I know it's sort of a bit with all that creative mode stuff in the middle, but it's good fun, and it's just a way of me being able to show you better what I'm doing without having to make a separate... Just fruit for days. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Just keep eating. Saturation. So I'll get on and I think we'll do the last part of the storage first, as I say. Then we'll look at which one you want me to do first. If you don't tell me, then I will do whichever one I want. So until I see you again, which will hopefully be Wednesday, maybe Thursday next week, this is Suffolkblue saying, see you later, bye bye.